when you were 11, what did you do?
I dreamed of being in this exact moment. I'm so excited to be here. I'm literally on cloud 9 right now. Excuse my excitement. I can't stop smiling. But yes, I dreamed of being in this exact moment.
What are your goals for the future in the WNBA?
To just help my team in any way, shape, or form. I want to go in there and ask Coach Tebow what they need me to do and go out there and do it.
Can you talk about this first round and how strong it's been from top to bottom from all over the country?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, like, our class offers really great players. I know everyone in this class has been dreaming of this moment. So just being here to not only witness it for my fellow teammate Bree Jones, but just to witness it for all the girls in this class that we're all achieving our goals.
For you, it's been a long journey to get here. Talk about the development, coming to Maryland, maybe not expecting to be here, now that you're finally here.
Yeah.
You get to stay in the area.
Yeah. Maryland fans are the greatest fans in the country, in my opinion. They support you through thick and thin, and I'm so excited to be just down the street from them. Coach B has helped me prepare for this moment, not only as a player, but as a person and as a leader as well. Our player development coaches have helped me to get to this moment. I've just put my head down and worked ever since I stepped on campus, and just see all my hard work finally pay off.
All right, to piggyback off the player development in college, you're going to Coach Tebow's one of the better offenses in the WNBA, and with some of the weapons they just added, you're a long-range sniper. Are you excited about the opportunity to get to play in the space you'll get to get your shot up?
Oh, absolutely. Not only do I get to play with those vets in the game, but I get to play against them in practice. And I know they're going to help me be the best shooter I can be, along with Coach Tebow. I feel like he's a phenomenal coach. He used to come to our practices. I remember seeing him when I was a freshman, not knowing who he is. And now calling him my coach, it just seems surreal.
What do you think the preparation is going to be for you personally as you go into training camp and then preparing for those first few games?
Definitely being able to get stronger, get in the weight room, get stronger, put some pounds on, to be able to take that bump offensively, but not only offensively, but being able to give that bump defensively as well.
All right, for you and Bree, you shared a lot of special moments during your 4 years at Maryland. What's it like sharing this one?
It's an indescribable feeling. Just to seeing where we were freshman year, Bree coming in, I honestly thought she was going to have to redshirt her freshman year, and she was a key piece our freshman year. And then seeing her just day in and day out just lose weight, not making sprints. We both were being killed in the weight room. Just to see, like, we made it. We made it. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hey, good to see you.
Welcome. We got Octavia out here whispering out loud over the mic.
Sorry.
You gonna open the show with the whisper? But now, Cardell's not here this evening, so Octavia and I are gonna hold things down along with a couple special guests. We got Rob Pettis from the Piss League and Mr. Quinn Cook from the now New Orleans Pelicans. So, Quinn, you've been here a couple times when the show was named a different name. So welcome to the, your first episode of The Focus. Happy to have you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, come on now. You sound like Pettis.
It's an open invite.
I was about to say invite.
like-
I was like, you can just walk in whenever you want, right?
Pretty much. All right, so on tonight's show, we got a lot planned for you guys, but we're going to start with Mr. Steven Streff. So that being said, hey, Steven, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, Wilson. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for making some time to call in. Covered DC United for Black and Red United. How many years you've been obviously a big soccer fan most of your life, I assume, but how many years you've been covering the team for Black and Red United?
For Black and Red United, I started in 2015, but I worked previously for Goal.com and MLSsoccer.com starting back in 2009. And then it was kind of on and off, and then picked it back up in 2015 with blackandredunited.com.
Okay, so you've been pretty familiar with the MLS. Me, myself, I probably got into really paying attention to MLS probably like 2 years ago. So you obviously more than 2 years. With the typical, I guess like the typical stigma for a DC United team, what's your thoughts on their current record to start this year?
Under Ben Olsen's tutelage, they've been known to be a slow starter in MLS. Last year, it took a while to get their first win. This year, it took 4 games until they first won a game, and took 4 games for them to score their first goal. Even that's kind of standard for Ben Olsen's side. It's not great. It's not exactly where they want to be, but this has happened before. They seem to pick it up usually around in April, maybe beginning of May, and then hit the summer pretty well. But they're not exactly excited about the position that they find themselves at this moment with just 2 wins from their first 6 games.
All right, coming into this year, we knew kind of after last year with some of the moves that they made, kind of sort of a mini youth movement. We knew Lucho was going to be starting in central midfield. Obviously, we knew Harks was going to play a factor this year. Did you anticipate both Harks and Jared Jeffrey playing this much this early?
Yeah, the signs were kind of there in the preseason that Ian Harks might come in and start right away. He didn't start the first game, but came in started against New York City the second week. I know sometimes Ben Olsen gets a rap of not playing his youngsters, but he does a couple of the young guys have gotten time. Maybe a little bit surprising that Harks started the second week and has continued to start and play 90 minutes ever since. He's still a rookie. He's learning the ropes as he's going, but it looks like Olsen at least trusts him in that number 8 position, the kind of the box midfielder. Jeffrey, when he first came into the league from Germany back in 2013, when DC United had the worst ever MLS season, he got a decent run of games, and then he kind of rode the bench for the next couple of years. And last year, he finally started to see the field a little bit, and he's had a couple performances that left a little bit to be desired at the beginning of the season, but he's had a couple good games, or not terrible games, in the past couple of weeks. The question is whether Ben Olsen wants to go with Marcelo Sarvas, who's got some miles on his legs, and he's kind of getting up there in age, or if he'll go with Jeffrey, who's not as good as Marcelo in that position, but will be able to run around a little bit more and do a little bit more, given his relative youth to Marcelo.
All right, I feel like this is the question many supporters have been asking the past couple of years. Obviously, last year, the way that the team ended the season with that the scoring, the attack, kind of at full tilt during the last maybe the last 12 games of the season. This year, obviously, a lot of people are expecting I know they get off to slow starts, but having some of the familiarity, that continuity, that the attack would at least be further ahead than it is right now. Do you feel like there's maybe something you can cleanly identify that might be broken with the attack, or is it just just being off just a little bit here and there, and some people just getting used to some of the new relationships out there, especially in central midfield?
Yeah, it is kind of surprising that they've been so inept at scoring. Only 4 goals through the first 6 games is not exactly where the team ended last year when they scored multiple goals in 10 or 11 games to end the season. It's a little surprising that they didn't seem to pick up where they left off. I know a lot of the players before the season started in preseason were kind of keying in on the fact that they'd be able to, with as little turnover as they had, personnel-wise, that they thought they'd be able to pick right back up and get off to a quick start to the season. They obviously haven't done that. Patrick Mullins has been out the past couple of weeks with an injury, but he didn't score before then. He's not exactly the reason why they haven't been scoring goals, but it appears that the chances that they've created haven't quite been the same as they were at the end of last year, and their finishing ability hasn't been found either. And one of the things I think is a little bit of an issue is just the play of their wingers. Patrick Nyarko missed the game against the New York Red Bulls, but him and Lloyd Sam last year were 2 of the best players on the team, contributed goals, assists, defensive work, everything that Ben Olsen loves. But they just haven't been on the same page this year with their teammates, and that's kind of clearly impacted the team now. Maybe Nyarko's reason for not being able to produce yet has been this injury that he's apparently has now. But and Lloyd Sam finally got a goal 2 weekends ago against New York City FC. But if they can get those two guys going and keep them in rhythm with Luciano Acosta in the middle, you figure at some point, regardless of who's playing up top, that they'll be able to get back on track and score goals, and not necessarily at the clip that they finished the season at last year, because that was a ridiculous amount of goals that they were scoring towards the end of the year, but something closer to resembling a team that can make the playoffs by the end of the year.
All right, obviously it's super early in the MLS season. It's the last year RFK, which was a big thing for many fans waiting for the stadium for so long. It's also a couple players at the start of the year. A lot of them talking about wanting to send RFK out the right way, as I'm sure that's a feeling shared by mostly everybody in that locker room. The current state that this team is right now, how far away do you think they are from? I guess what I'm asking is, what is their ceiling this year with their young players, with maybe improved depth from last year, even though they're off to a slow start?
So this team, I mean, it doesn't really have the stars that you see a lot of the other teams have. I mean, last year's MLS Cup final was Seattle Sounders against Toronto FC, who have some of the biggest stars in the league on both teams. And, DC does it because of the predicament they're in with their stadium and being at RFK. They in recent years, they just haven't had the money to spend on those kind of players. So without those, star marquee players, guys who can kind of put the team on the back by themselves and carry somebody through or carry the team through. I really think that their ceiling is making the playoffs and maybe winning a round or two, but it doesn't seem like this group right here has got just enough talent to make it to the MLS Cup, which obviously everybody, that's a goal for everybody. Everybody wants to win the Cup, but if DC United makes the playoffs this year, and I know that would disappoint a lot of fans in terms of maybe moving past the first couple rounds that they've been stuck at the past couple of years. But even if they get knocked out the first round this year, that's just about kind of what their ceiling is this year. And then I know they'll hope next year with the new stadium and maybe with some more money coming into the team that they'll be able to, be able to splash for a player who not only maybe has a little bit more name recognition, but is able to produce goals or assists at a higher rate than some of the current players are able to.
All right. Well, Steven, I want to say thank you so much. Missed you at training this morning. Ben talked quite a bit about just what happened up in New York. Coming up this week in New England, the health of some of the team. It looks like Patrick Mullins will be in the 18 this week as of now. So those are a couple positive things. But I want to thank you so much again for your time, for calling in tonight. And tell everybody where they can find your work at online.
I write for the website blackandredunited.com. It's the SB Nation site. I do most of the midweek stuff and then the recaps for the games and reactions for the games. And I go to all the home games, and so far I've been to all the away games this year, so I try to provide as much coverage and on the site. And there's a bunch of other articles written on the site every day. We cover DC United, we cover the Washington Spirit, the women's team that plays up in the Soccerplex, and we cover both the national teams. On Twitter, you can find me at Streff Soccer, and on Facebook, you can find me at Streff SM.
All right, Steven, thank you again. You have a good evening, and try to have you back later. Have you back on with us later this season.
All right, thanks a lot for having me on.
No problem. All right, everybody, it's our guest for the evening, Mr. Steven Streff from Black and Red United. So you get a chance. Octavia, how you doing this evening? So we started the show kind of quick. We'll make sure that we got the guest call in and everything.
They were on time. We like that.
They were definitely on time.
We like that. I'm good though. It's not raining. I say that every Tuesday when it's not raining. So I'm excited about that because it usually rains every Tuesday.
It definitely does. Mr. Cook, how we feeling this evening?
Good. I'm hungry, but I'm straight. I'm all right.
Pettis, you ain't take the man to get something to eat.
No, we going after. I asked him if he wanted to go to Smoothie King.
He's hungry now, though.
Starving.
I asked him if he wanted to go to Smoothie King before. He was like, I want to wait till after.
Because I ain't want to be late.
You know what? We appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because, we already know how that goes over
it's,
there.
what time is it? It's 8:22. We could have got some food and been here by 8:15.
I mean, technically, you still would have been on time.
Exactly. See.
But you didn't do that. Instead, you just left the man on
Because
Nah,
he
he said y'all started at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we started a little bit late. So
You know what
that's
I'm
on
saying?
us.
We wanted to be all traffic. He drives slow. So
Facts.
he picked me up at 6:45.
Wow, you picked him up that early?
Yep.
That's something that doesn't happen often. So congratulations on that.
I mean, we ain't got no job. We can do whatever, right? Well, go ahead.
Whoa. All right. So again, Cardell's not here tonight, but we're gonna hold him down. Last week, as we told everybody, we both had busy weekends. He went out to Portsmouth, Virginia, to take in the 65th annual Portsmouth Invitational. We went up to New York to take in the WNBA draft. So when we get the local coverage section, we got a lot to talk about. Gonna go through some of Cardell sent us a very nice list of 12 players that had top performances. But at the same time, I want to let you guys know, those weren't the only 12 players that stood out. So we're going to implore you, as always, to head over to finestmagazine.com, which is finestmag.com, apologize. Head over to Finest Magazine, it's finestmag.com, and check out the rest of the content that he has from that event. There's a bunch of galleries, a couple articles, so definitely get over there and check that out. And we got a whole bunch of WNBA stuff too. Just a whole bunch. But shout out to Samsung 837. Never been there before. Might have been the most impressive Samsung store I think I've seen in my life. It was like a 3-story phone store.
Do they have that many phones?
I don't know. They have like
You said what store?
Samsung.
Yeah, Samsung is not phones.
I mean, I know, but he said phone store, so that's why I asked.
I mean, I didn't see any TVs in there that was selling. There's a whole bunch
On
of phones
3
that's on there. I'm dead serious.
That's a shame.
I'm just telling you, like we saw virtual reality things, you know.
Oh yeah, they do
I
have
seen
that.
the TVs. I mean, there were TVs, but I didn't see TVs for sale. I saw the displays for phones.
Did they say we do not blow up?
I'm not messing with you. I believe that's definitely rather petty. Also, later in the show, we're going to be sharing our NBA regular season awards. Since some people think that like the voting's still going on, it obviously ended a while ago. So we're going to be talking about that later on the show. We're also going to share our all NBA teams, which should be fun. So Pettis and Quinn, you guys get some time to think about it. We already had ours. You already got yours?
Yeah.
You got all 3?
Everything.
You got all 3 teams?
Everything.
Well prepared.
Pettis?
This one,
No change.
Are you? That's what we're going with today.
That's my answer.
and nobody believes you.
Man, nobody believes. We're gonna take a quick break right here on the Focus because we just can't stand somebody blatantly just doing that on air. You don't watch basketball. That's what we're really gonna go with. That's your final answer at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take a quick break. We're here. You're watching the Focus. Don't go anywhere. Matter of fact, call somebody in. Tune in. Buddy System at all times. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Focus. Fun times all the time, man. I told you guys we have some of the greatest conversations when the mics are off. The mics are back on. You're watching the Focus. Thank you so much for being tuned in. As promised, this is the local coverage section. We told you guys Cardell made the trip to Portsmouth last weekend to check out pretty much championship day at the 65th annual Portsmouth Invitational. He had 12 players that really stood out, the cream of the crop, if you will. Again, outside of those players, there were more. Head over to the Finest Magazine, aka finestmag.com, to check that out. The first player, actually, we'll count down 1 through 12 or 12 to 1. What do you think, Octavia?
Well, I mean, are we in like order of who's the best? Like number 1 is the best?
I mean, I would say so.
Oh, all right, so I would say start with 12.
Okay,
Let's go.
my bad. At number 12, because Octavia said so.
Done. Let's go.
Deontay Burton from Iowa State, 6'4" guard, 17 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. We had 11. We got Ja'Cory Williams from Middle Tennessee State, a 6'8" power forward, Conference USA Player of the Year. He put up some big numbers: 25 points, 8 rebounds. At 10, Kadeem Allen from Arizona, 6'3" guard, 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Zach Leday is at number 9, Virginia Tech, 6'7" forward. He led Tech in points, rebounds, and blocks this past season, and he finished that game with 23 points and 12 rebounds. We got a Dookie at 8, Matt Jones, 6'5" guard, had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals, including knocking down the game winner in the third place game. So that's not a bad. Game winner's always good. 7, Damian Dotson from Houston, 6'5" guard, had most valuable player honors with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And I apologize in advance if I butcher this last name.
Just use the initial.
We got Emmanuel Amogbo, Colorado State, 6'8" forward, finished the year with 20 double-doubles. Fell one rebound short of a double-double at Portsmouth in that third place game, 10 points and 9 rebounds. Y'all heard Cardell talk about this young gentleman from GW for like the last year and a half.
I already know who you're going to say.
Go ahead, I'll tell you. You might as well say it. Go ahead.
Tyler Kavanaugh.
Tyler Kavanaugh. We got, again, from GW, 6'9" forward, finished with 20 points and 6 rebounds. At 4, J.J. Frazier out of Georgia, 5'10" point guard, 21 points and 4 assists. We're at the top 3 now. Xavier Johnson, Colorado, 6'7" wing, 20 points and 3 rebounds. 2, Steve Vasturia out of Notre Dame, 6'5", 20 points and 9 rebounds. 9 rebounds ain't bad for a guard, no matter what's going on. And at number 1, we got another guard, Mr. Dallas Moore out of North Florida, 6'1" point guard, Atlantic Sun Player of the Year, finished with 22 points and 8 assists. Again, those are just the cream of the crop. Head over to finestmag.com to check out more coverage from the 65th annual Portsmouth Invitational. Any outside of Tyler Kavanaugh, anybody immediately know these names? I already know you know Matt Jones, but
you said somebody.
Deontay Burton.
Who did you say?
Isn't
Frazier nice too?
Colorado? That's the one that Kobe, the one who ain't from here.
Nah.
Xavier Johnson?
He's from Vegas, I think.
The Colorado dude.
That's Xavier Johnson from Colorado. You talking about the Colorado State guy?
Yeah, Colorado State guy.
Yes, he is.
That's the
Emmanuel
dude
Amogbo.
I
think he's local.
That's the
paying
one.
Attention to Cardell.
That's the one who his house or his family died in a house fire or something, and Kobe reached out to him. He from there.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I heard. I know. I saw Marcus Hill along with Cardell, so he's definitely from the area.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Okay. So again, guys, head over to finestmag.com to check out the rest of that great coverage from the 65th annual Portsmouth Invitational. While Cardell was doing that last weekend, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. I enjoy driving up to New York, so we did that last week. At Samsung 837, we took in the 2017 WNBA draft. This offseason for the WNBA was really weird in the sense that there was a lot of NBA type, like big trades, a lot of movement, and a lot of it had to do with this really deep draft class. A lot of teams felt like, I can move on from a star and make up for it in this year's draft versus prior years or even next year. Mm-hmm. So it was a really deep draft. As expected, Kelsey Plum went number 1. I don't think that was a surprise to anybody.
Oh my God, I was so surprised.
Man, I think everybody was shocked. So that definitely happened. So for the University of Washington, they got one half of that done. They're trying to get both of their point guards, men's and women's, to go number 1 in their respective drafts. Kelsey Plum handled her part. Now we just got to wait till June to see if Markelle does indeed go number 1. Then University of Washington is going to make some history where you had the number 1 pick in both the NBA and WNBA draft, which isn't a bad look in the very least bit. Shout out to South Carolina. They had 3 players going to top 10, 2 of which were underclassmen. Elena Coates went number 2, even though, she got hurt and didn't get a chance to participate in that championship run in the tournament. We had the 2 Maryland women. We had Shatori Walker-Kimbrough and Brianna Jones go within 2 picks of each other. Shatori's staying here in the area. She's got drafted by the Mystics at 6. And Brianna's going up to Connecticut, where Maryland's season ended, to play for the Sun. And it's going to be a great opportunity for her because they lost Chene Agumake. So Brianna's going to be a big deal down in the post for them. So that being said, here's a quick interview with Miss Brianna Jones.
So much.
Bree,
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The season ended, unfortunately, in Connecticut. looking forward to going to Connecticut for a positive reason.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to changing my luck in Connecticut. Just I'm excited to go play for them, play with Alyssa again. I met Chanae while I was here. I'm really excited to play and learn with her.
And then for you guys, as a Maryland, as that program that's standard, what does it mean for you and Shatori to share this moment, and what does it mean for the program?
Just playing at Maryland, playing for Coach B. She's a great coach, and she makes her players better. And I think that shows in me and Shatori and how much we improved from our freshman year and how it led us to here. And just getting to share this moment with her, going through everything we went through for the past 4 years is really exciting. And I'm really happy for her, and I can't wait to see what life turns out for us.
What are your thoughts on the depth of this first round?
There's so much talent here. We have 3 national championship winners, All-Americans, which is amazing, the talent that was here. And I know going into whatever team they go to, everybody's going to play and going to be amazing.
For your game, you're very comfortable being physical in college, a lot of ticky-tack fouls. Looking forward to the whistle kind of being a little bit more lenient?
Definitely. I enjoy physical play, and just being able to play that way and not have to worry about getting little ticky-tack fouls is going to be a great and a little sigh of relief.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for listening to that. We will be right back. Going to take a very, very quick break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back to The Focus. Okay, we took a quick break, but now we're back and we are ready to start talking about the NBA. So, of course, everybody knows awards are coming out soon. They've already made their decisions. You just don't know yet. So, we're also going to go through, our picks for Player of the Year, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, All-NBA team, first team, second team, and third team. So, I will start. I will say this was very hard for me. I went back and forth.
That email came back in like 5 minutes.
It did not. You told me to email you my picks like at 12 noon. I didn't send them to you till like 11 o'clock at night. Did I not?
I didn't look at the time stamp.
Exactly. It's okay. So first I'm going to start with the Coach of the Year. I'm actually going to pick Scott Brooks. MVP, Westbrook. That's just Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard. Rookie of the Year, I went with Dario. That was when I was going back and forth about a lot. So,
which was your other choice?
The dude from the Bucks.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, him.
Okay.
Most improved players, I'm going to go with the Greek Freak. And Sixth Man of the Year, Eric Gordon.
Okay.
All NBA team, Westbrook, Leonard, Harden, James, and I'm going to go with Gobert.
As your first team. All right.
Yeah.
Second and third team.
Second team, I'm going to have to pick Steph, IT, Durant, Greek Freak, and Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Third team, I'm going to go with Wall, Lillard, Butler, Gordon Hayward, and Marc Gasol.
Okay. All right. Now moving on to Cardell's picks. It's going to be fun to see where everybody's at with this. We're going to start with Rookie of the Year for Cardell. He has Malcolm Brogdon. Most improved, he does agree with you. He's going with Giannis. Sixth man, Eric Gordon. Defensive Player of the Year, if it's up to him, he's going to give a co-award to Kawhi and Draymond.
Those are the two I was going back and forth about, so I'm not mad
Coach of the
about that.
Year, he's with you with Scott Brooks.
I knew he would be.
I think everybody in the room is with Russell Westbrook, unless it's going to be interesting if these two have either have different answers for that for MVP. Here's All-NBA first team. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis. Second team is Mr. John Wall, Steph Curry, Giannis, Kevin Durant, Hassan Whiteside. And Cardell's third All-NBA team is Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, and Mr. Karl Anthony Towns. I like y'all's list so far, man.
Quick question. Did he say Wall?
Yes. Wall was on his second team.
Okay.
It's the first name on the second team. And now I'm going to find what I chose because I can't remember. We did this on Samar's podcast like last week. It's called the No Name Pod. You guys can definitely check that out. Their teams were better than mine, so I already know, my list is open for debate, and I'm okay with that. I don't know who I had. I think I had a couple people different than you.
Okay.
So I also had Scott Brooks as Coach of the Year. I also had Russell Westbrook as MVP. My Defensive Player of the Year was Draymond Green. My Rookie of the Year was Malcolm Brogdon. I originally had Sark, and then I thought about it, and I switched it to Malcolm Brogdon. So I'm going to tell myself.
I wanted to switch after I sent this. Okay.
My Most Improved Player I gave to Giannis. My 6th Man of the Year I gave to Andre Iguodala. All NBA First Team, Westbrook, Harden, LeBron, Kawhi, Anthony Davis. My second team, Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan, Giannis, KD, and Rudy Gobert. My third team, I had John Wall, Isaiah Thomas, Gordon Hayward, Draymond Green, and Hassan Whiteside. And I was really like torn between Whiteside and my guy Karl Anthony Towns, but I took Whiteside. Quinn, if you have your list together, where do you want to start?
What, Rookie of the Year?
We can start Rookie of the Year.
Start wherever you want to start.
I'm gonna take Sark.
You gonna go with Dario?
I'm gonna take Sark.
Okay. Your Coach of the Year?
Coach of the Year. I'm gonna go Brad Stevens.
Okay.
Boston.
MVP?
Russell Westbrook for sure.
Okay. Most Improved?
Most Improved. I'm gonna give it to Jokic, the Joker
Gotcha.
from
Denver.
That's a good pick too.
I think he made a big stride this year from his first year.
Indeed. Defensive Player of the Year, sir.
I'm gonna go Draymond. Draymond
Okay.
Green for sure.
6th Man of the Year.
6th man. I'm gonna go Eric Gordon.
Okay. Your All NBA First Team.
First team. LeBron, Kawhi, James, Westbrook, and AD.
Okay. Your second team, sir?
Second team, Steph, KD,
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcus Cousins,
Okay.
John Wall,
Okay.
and Draymond.
Going Dre on the second team. No problem.
Yeah.
Third team.
IT.
All right.
Dang. Jimmy Butler.
Okay. Got some
Love-
Jimmy Butler love
I love
tonight.
Jimmy. Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm taking Draymond off the second team. I'm putting Kyrie on the second team.
You put Kyrie on the second team.
Yeah. So I'm putting Draymond on the third team.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
IT. Klay Thompson. And one more.
You got to sub Clay out because it got to be we're going for
Oh,
awards.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
Positions.
going,
Oh, yeah.
So you got 3 guards, so we got to take Clay out.
All right, so Klay's gone then.
Okay.
So what I need to do?
Yeah, and I think another forward.
Hey, that decision was so easy.
I'm gonna go Marc Gasol.
Okay.
And I need another big.
Another big Octavia because I just give a try.
Oh, well, forward.
No, you need another
Forward.
forward.
What's that,
Yeah.
like a 3?
3 or 4.
Paul George.
Okay. That is. Yeah, we're gonna start with Coach of the Year for you, sir.
I like D'Antoni.
Okay. MVP.
Westbrook.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Draymond.
Okay. Rookie of the Year.
That's unanimous. We said it.
Okay. So is it?
Well,
We got
no,
Sarge.
he changed. Oh, you said. Oh, y'all did. I thought you said Michael Brogdon.
I said sorry.
You did. Okay.
Sarge, we got Sarge, Brogdon.
Oh,
Cardell
Brogdon.
got
Okay.
Brogdon.
Oh, Brogdon. I'm sorry. I thought.
Brogdon.
Yeah. I thought
Okay.
so.
So now it wasn't
There you go.
unanimous.
My bad.
It was far from
It
unanimous.
was
My
close,
bad.
though. It was close.
My bad. I thought it was
Most Improved Player.
Greek.
Okay. Almost everybody was there on that. Okay. 6th Man of the Year.
Eric Gordon.
Okay. So I'm the one weirdo on that one. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All NBA First Team.
LeBron. Westbrook. Harden. I like 82.
Okay. And
And
Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Forward and Kawhi. Okay, no problem. Second team.
Nah, I told you. I took it first. You talking about second and third? Y'all keep
Hey,
it.
look, I had to try, but
No.
I had to try. Okay, so the playoffs already started. You know, we got everybody in this wonderful industry already off to the rearing and roaring hot takes already. These are 7-game series for everybody that's going, jumping off boats so quick. I'm going to ask before we start looking at where each series is, does anybody see any 7-game series? Before the playoffs started, did you guys think anybody was going 7?
Yeah.
And if so, go ahead and tell me who. Octavia, go first.
I always gotta go first. Can I get a moment to
first.
think?
Ladies.
Go ahead.
first.
I think Toronto, Milwaukee's going 7, and I
Okay.
think Utah, Clippers are going 7.
Okay. So now, are you ready now?
I kind of agree though. Those
Okay.
are the two series that I was thinking, but I just wanted to have an extra second to think.
Okay.
You know.
That's not a problem. So which series do you guys want to jump into first? I guess we'll go Cleveland and Indiana since that one's already 2-0.
Cleveland. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's fine, but anybody
Sweet.
just sweep, just
Sweet.
non-competitive, just sweep.
I mean, you come back disrupting the team.
I mean, it's competitive. It's competitive.
I
Like,
feel like Paul got enough, like to, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't mean competitive as in
yeah,
like,
no,
it's-
no,
like in
like,
that term.
but I think like for the true basketball fan, it's competitive. But you know, if you're just watching for the stars and just watching because it's LeBron, like, I don't think it's really that interesting. Like, but I mean, for people who really like to watch the game, I think they're playing great basketball, and I think that the runs. I think the first 2 games were about runs for me. Like, Cleveland will make a run, Cleveland make another run, go up 17-18. Indiana make a quiet run. So I think that series is about runs, but I just don't think Indiana has enough. I think they got to get Monte going a little bit more, and I think like C.J. Miles has to have a crazy shooting game for them to win. Lance has to score 20. I mean, Paul George is going to get you what he's going to give you every night, but Jeff Teague has to, do what he did last night. So I just think, they have to play just a little bit more like
Flawless.
like they got to play a perfect basketball game, I think, to beat Cleveland.
Okay. And then from the Cleveland side, a lot of people we've been talking about their defense or lack thereof all year long. In terms of like the drop off from last year for them, the level that they were at. We had a lot of people. I just want to bring this up because I heard a couple things this week where it was just that they don't respect their opponents, so that's why the defense is bad. Is this something you guys agree with, or you just feel like maybe, that defense just isn't, it's for whatever reason it's not at the level it was last year?
I mean, I think it's not really a concrete answer as far as why it's not at the level it is, because they have basically all the same pieces that they had last year. So I do kind of agree that it may be, just they play down to their competition at times. They just, quote unquote, get bored at times, because they're always so used to winning. So it may be slightly lax at times. I think it's the playoffs now, so I really think they'll probably turn it on. But you never know.
Anybody else?
I mean, I think they got an off and on button. I think, when you have a talented group like that and you've experienced success, I think, you can turn it on and off. I think they respect, everybody in the league, respect their opponents, but I think they're so good, like they just think they could just turn it on at any time. And, in the big games where, they had to go to Boston on a back-to-back for the number 1 seed, I mean, they smacked them. I think they're pretty locked in right now. I just think they're so good. They just think they could turn it on and off. And, I think the East is better than what people think. So I think, I mean, they're gonna get through it, and they're gonna get through Indiana. But, they would play Boston or Chicago next, and I mean, the Bulls swept them this year. So I mean, they'll have it on. But I mean, I think they got to be locked in for a full 48 minutes. I think that's why they won it last year.
I would definitely agree. And another team that they might have to deal with if everything keeps going right, Washington gave them fits.
For sure.
This year, especially off the dribble, having to contain both John and Brad. Atlanta's going through it right now. And I don't know how that's going to work out for them. But I guess we'll talk about that series, Washington and Atlanta. Because a couple past years they met in the playoffs where, somebody for Washington, one of those two weren't healthy. This year, for like what seems like the first time since they've been together, they're both as good, as close to 100% as possible. For the first time, you don't have John kind of like rehabbing off something, or Brad's not on a minute restriction this go round. Obviously, the Atlanta team's a little bit different than past years. No Horford anymore. Now it's just Millsap down there.
You got Dwight, though.
You do have Dwight. You do have Dwight, and playoff Dwight is, as we're talking at that pod last week, Samar brought up a great point, that playoff Dwight is a really good player. Sometimes people overlook that. But where do you guys see this series going?
I don't think it's going to go, like we said, 7 games. I can see potentially like 5 or 6 because, like, I did go to the game when the Hawks played the Wizards here last before the playoffs started. And, I mean, you know, the Hawks do have the pieces where they can put it together to, you know, kind of take control over the game because they basically were controlling the entire game that I went to. But once again, it's the playoffs, and I really think that John Wall has something to prove. Like, not to us. Like, there are people that know that John Wall is, you know, a great player. But I just always feel like he doesn't get his just due a lot. So I think that, you know, he may have, like, a chip on his shoulder, and he's actually like, trying to take over games. As you see, he's going crazy, like, so far. So I expect them to win the series. I mean, it's no doubt about that.
Quinn or Pettis?
Atlanta's in trouble.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even stuck in there. But yeah, they in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, we want to say
We're in a consensus, unanimous.
Like I think they're in trouble in so many different places. Like I think the one place they might not be in trouble, like Quinn brought up Dwight. I think that might be the one place that they're not in trouble. But everywhere else they're in trouble. They're literally in a bunch of trouble. And the biggest thing is we know Washington's bench isn't the greatest. Like Atlanta has a pretty decent second unit, and they weren't able to take advantage of that because the gap between the starters is so big that it's not hurting the Wizards in this series. I mean, that's something we got to look out, keep an eye on for the Wizards the entire playoffs. But at this point, it's not hurting them at all because it's crazy because now for Atlanta, you take the second unit out, you're back in trouble. When John and company come back out there and like that was just a John game. Keith had a good game too. Brad had a good game too.
Yeah, Atlanta just don't have them shooters no more.
They don't have them. I don't know, man.
Bench no more.
DC, man, the Wizards, man. I just think that they going with this whole death row.
I like
whole
it.
little movement,
and
it has the city on fire. Like, I mean, I was here when Gilbert and Deshaun Stevenson, and Antoine was here, man, and I can remember going to those games, but they doing something different right now.
It feels a different feeling right now.
Like DC needs to really appreciate what we have right here because
I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking about like all the shirts was supposed to be white out.
Yeah.
Like people went to the games. How do you not put the shirts on their free shirts?
I mean, but I mean
because of what it is.
No, I am not gonna lie. So I've noticed that I can't remember what game it was.
What if you bought a fresh shirt for the game? I ain't about to throw no white shirt on.
Okay, look, I understand that, but I think some people is okay. Everybody.
You put your whole fit together the whole week. You got your J's, you got your nice jeans, and you want me to throw on a white shirt.
You said the last thing you want is that white cotton shirt.
I'm a cheer. I'm a cheer. You know, I'm here. I pay my money.
I'm gonna wave the shirt around like that. Though.
But what about the whiteout? They want the whiteout.
Nah, that whiteout is not gonna make Brad Bill make this jump. It's not.
All right, so we got Quinn speaking up for everybody who looked at that shirt and took it home.
But no, I think part of it is like when I looked at some of the games where they, you know, they put the shirts on there. When you look like some of them, like the shirt just don't fit. So, like when you look in the crowd, the people that don't got the shirt.
All right, we moving on from that because I don't even like where you going right now. So, I think you guys mentioned Toronto, Milwaukee going 7. I think two of you guys believe that. So currently it's 84-83. Toronto at the end of 3. So it's a tight one. Boston's down 9 to Chicago at the moment. And then, you know, we got the late game tonight with Utah and LA. But with that Toronto-Milwaukee series, why do you guys feel like it's going 7?
For me, I mean, it's the same thing as last year. I think they went 7 with Miami the first round. And I think Miami stole game 1 and struggled with them game 2. And I don't know, man. I just think Milwaukee doesn't have enough. But I think that, you know, them still in game 1. You know, I think they'll get one in Milwaukee. And then game 5, game 6, it'll go either way. So I think them getting game 1 gives them confidence, but I still don't think they have enough for Toronto. And Toronto, you know, they've been in the playoffs a couple years in a row now. They've been deep. They've been, you know, 6 games with the Cavs. So I think they'll figure it out. But I don't know, Milwaukee ain't no slouch. Like I didn't think me going into it, I didn't think they were going 7. But I'm basing 7 games off them
after that first game.
1. Yeah. So
see, like I was kind of like on the other side of this is I like Toronto, but just like off their past playoff success,
it's hard to.
We haven't seen like for whatever reason we don't know why, DeMar and Kyle can't get going at the same time.
But they win though.
No, they do win. And then like the thing that's weird for me in this series is the fact that they haven't been able to get going in the past. And Milwaukee's just so damn long. It's just a long, lanky team, and that's the only thing that bothers me for a team that doesn't have great shooters like with Toronto. I know Milwaukee can barely shoot as well, but just the length. Like you got, even after you get past Giannis, Don 7'1" just sitting there. I know he's not 250, but 7'1" with a wingspan, 7'1" with a wingspan. So I mean, obviously, I feel a lot different if the Bucks had Barry. I'd probably be like
For
Bucks
sure.
all the way. But I like some of the other pieces Milwaukee has. But if it goes 7, that's cool too. I have no issue.
Just another game to watch.
Yeah, I just want a good series to watch.
It's an interesting game to watch.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are on right now. They both got 19. Let's see,
they're up by 6. And like that's the thing, they both up by 6. And it's not a knock on them. It's just like I feel like it's weird because everyone loved the trades that they made, but
I did.
You said you did, right? No, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody loved them, but like in this series, some of those pieces they got mean nothing because of the length.
Yeah, it's for the for the future.
You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. We're gonna move on from that series. Did we get everybody in the East? Somebody we forgot.
Boston
and Chicago. I'm so sorry. And condolences to Isaiah Thomas and his family, obviously.
Definitely.
But in that series, I mean, we've been saying, some people have been saying this about Boston. I'm one of those people where I love Isaiah Thomas. I don't necessarily feel like his supporting cast can score enough to help him. Mm-hmm. I think it's hard at that size to carry that much of a workload, and he doesn't really force the issue. Like even in game 1, he was hot. He did a great job. You get the double, you kick it out. I really do believe that's the right play. But if you keep kicking it out and that dude can't hit that shot, it's gonna hurt you. Mm-hmm. And I love Avery Bradley. It's nothing against Avery Bradley. I like Marcus Smart too. But the bottom line, this is like the second or third year of this, where Isaiah is the only reliable piece on offense. And you were talking about another team earlier with not having enough help. And he just needs a little bit more help.
I mean, yeah, especially with Al Horford got 1 point, so you can see why they're down by so much. He ain't got too much help going on right now. He's the only one in double figures at the time with 11. So, I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, for him to have to carry that much of a workload on top of everything that he's going through, because to say that that's not something that's affecting him is ridiculous. Like, it's going to affect him to some point. I mean, it's hats off that he's able to even push through and continue to play in a situation like that. But, yeah, I definitely feel like he needs more help. Like, they brought Horford in there this year, and he has to produce, especially if he wants to get past this. Because, I mean, they down by 11 now. It's already 50-39.
And rebounding and protecting the rim has been an issue in Boston for like the last 2 years. And with Chicago, they don't have great shooters. Maybe, outside of maybe Jimmy outside, and some of the bigs are really good pick and pop guys.
Yeah, and then you can't count out D Wade. Like, you can't ever count him out.
I mean, they are number 1 in the East though. Like
that's the other thing. That's why you're like, this is kind of crazy.
They are number 1 in the East.
Look, I get that, and I really do.
And
respect
it's not
it.
just.
No. I'm not gonna say nothing about.
I said he averages 29, but
no, I'm not gonna say nothing about how they finished 1-0. They deserve 1. I respect them in the regular season as the number 1 seed.
So you talking about in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, however.
But they only been here 1 time. This unit, and they lost last year in 6 games.
Some of these pieces, but I think Avery wasn't in the playoffs fully healthy.
He got hurt. He got hurt game 2.
He got healthy, but even when he's there, like we know what he gives us defensively.
Yeah.
But like I'm just saying, like they don't have another consistent score you can count.
This
like,
is my thing.
I like them.
This is my thing.
2 more pieces.
I feel you. But this is my thing with them. I just think Chicago's a bad matchup for them.
You just feel it's
a bad matchup. It's a really bad matchup. I think that they need another piece. Like if they get like a Gordon Hayward or a PG or a Jimmy Butler, like that's my team in the East.
Gotcha.
But
I feel that way.
I like this team. Like I like this team. Like I like their wings. I like the bench. I like Brad Stevens' philosophies with them. I like IT's a finisher. But I just think that that's a bad matchup.
That's fair.
It's a really bad matchup for them.
That's
Chicago,
fair.
Chicago, besides all the BS they was dealing with early, like Chicago came into the season with a lot of buzz, like 3rd, 4th best team in the league, and they went through all that and they made the late season push. But that's a bad matchup for them. Like, so I'm not surprised that they're down 11 or whether they lost game 1, but still, man, the Boston still.
I'm not knocking them, but I'm just saying, like
Jay Crowder is a great small forward in the league.
I like all of their pieces, right? I really do. I would like them more with another scorer. I like all them pieces. Like, I really do. But, like, as complementary pieces, they're wonderful. But what IT needs right now, none of them could really give them. That's all I'm saying. Like, none of them could really give them that. I like what they have, but...
What about the West?
I mean, what about it? We got time to run through the West real quick. Where y'all want to start, Octavia?
I mean, we might as well start.
We gotta start with the headliner. Okay. OKC Houston. I mean.
Okay, so we had a report coming out today that KD has a calf strain, questionable for game 2.
He's playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Look,
He's playing.
Again, just telling you what was out there. It's just my job to bring it up.
That's a sweep.
I think we all know that.
That's
okay, I got a question real quick. I feel like Portland gave him their very best punch.
Yes.
To the chin in game 1.
No doubt.
Like almost everything that could happen perfectly in terms of bad shots.
73 points.
They play great.
No doubt.
They play great. They don't got enough.
Okay, I'm not crazy for saying none of this is sustainable.
Don't have enough.
Okay, cool.
It's no. I mean, at the end of the first half, Damon and McCollum had 48 of their 56 points.
Yeah, hey, look.
And no Jerkic.
Yeah.
Nah,
okay, but I got a question.
In game 2, I don't know.
With Jerkic, does this severely change your outcome?
I mean, it helps you, but you're still not going to win a game.
Okay. No, that's all I'm asking.
Listen,
like the broom's still out, right? That's all I'm saying.
This is no bias because I'm Kevin's little brother or whatever. They ain't losing the game to the finals. That's just me. They ain't losing to the Spurs. They ain't losing to the Clippers. They damn sure ain't losing to the Blazers.
Hey, we're in a similar place if everyone stays healthy.
Yeah.
I have an added caveat that I will not share on air.
Got your bench scoring points they ain't supposed to score. You know, shoot.
They got a hell of a team, man.
I love the bench.
They have a great supporting cast.
San Antonio and Memphis, the Spurs up 2-0.
Sweet. Do we even? I hate that. I hate this though, like, cause the fact that like Memphis always pushes and they always make the playoffs.
Memphis needs to
for the most time, but it's like every time it's just like they always run into.
Memphis ain't.
They don't got their dog out there. They don't got Tony. Chandler Parsons getting hurt. I mean,
Memphis needs to go to the East where they are. They need to go to the East where they are. They're on the East Coast. They need to go to the Eastern Conference. If they're in the conference, they'll be good.
All right, the MVP matchup, the headliner everybody loves.
OKC.
You know, OKC and Houston.
OKC.
You got OKC.
I got Houston.
They're down 1. You still feel good about OKC?
I got Houston.
Octavia.
It's a toss up for me. Okay. I mean, it's just great basketball for me. Like, it's just amazing to watch. For real. I'm just excited to see who wins each game. Because to me, it's just so... Because it's like they have so many good pieces. And, I mean, you can't deny what Westbrook is doing at all. And then you can't deny what Harden is doing. So it's just like... Yeah, I'm torn.
They just have I think they have too many pieces.
Who?
Houston.
I just think
they have too many shooters. They have too many pieces.
I can agree.
Like I said, you OKC give you a good 3-4.
Yeah.
But they can go
and it's just
6
like
at the
for
most.
me,
6,
it's so many liabilities on defense for OKC. Like you need to play. Like you need to play Cannon, right? You need to play him, but you can't play him because in pick and roll, that's murder.
So we'll throw Taj Gibson in there.
But Taj had 1 rebound in the whole 4 quarters of basketball. That's the issue. 1.
Only had 1 the whole game.
Yes, no, I'm not being funny. No, the entire game. The entire game, Quinn.
First game.
1 rebound in the playoff.
He's been there before.
Game 1.
Okay.
I mean, he's so used to letting Westbrook get them all.
Look, I'm not even gonna enter that. We ain't got that time.
You know what I'm saying?
So, you staying with OKC?
OKC and 6.
Okay.
Did have
okay,
1
6.
rebound. Had to check.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm not gonna forget that. That had me going crazy. Lastly, no, not lastly, but we got the Clippers and the Jazz,
7.
which hurt with Gobert going down negative 2 seconds into that game.
We're still
7.
We're still gonna lose.
Oh yeah, Gobert did get hurt.
We're still gonna lose.
That's always a team that, like, deep down in my heart.
I'm a Clippers fan. You know, it's time to start over.
Deep down in my heart, I always want them to win.
You're not going to get an answer for this.
He's from Largo, Maryland. He's like the Los Angeles Clippers, North Carolina, and the Arizona Cardinals.
You're not going to get an answer for this.
And the Seattle Mariners.
You know what? Okay, so back to the series. You said you got the Clippers or the Jazz?
I got Clippers.
Octavia.
I think the Clippers will pull it off. Yeah.
All right, I'm going with the Jazz. Even with the Gobert. And the only reason why I really like the Joe Johnson at the 4 matchup with Blake.
How long is Rudy Gobert out?
Maybe the series, or maybe until late in the series. Maybe.
Yeah, I got LA.
Okay. So, what's the last series? Is that everybody?
That was pretty much
We got everybody?
Yeah.
Well, fun times, man.
I think so, yeah.
Golden State winning it, right?
I felt that way since,
Long time
for a
ago.
while. Since last February, I felt that way.
The first half, I felt that San Antonio was gonna win it until the second half kicked off.
You want to know when I was done with?
I wasn't talking the first half of the Portland game. Then second half, I said, oh, never mind.
Look, I like San Antonio until what happened in that game late in the year when Kevin wasn't there and they were by 20-something.
Yeah.
That's when I was done with San Antonio
In
and the
San
Warriors.
Antonio.
And that's when I was done with him. I know people are just like, one game doesn't mean that much. That's just how I feel about that shouldn't happen.
Man, look, they've been the Western Conference champions 2 straight years. They added the second best player
I
in the
get it,
world.
but I'm just saying, we talking about
they got who? San Antonio?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like for them to have that game taken from them.
Yeah, but look,
was big
but this the thing though,
They got blown out the night before.
This the thing with San Antonio. Like the first game of the year, they beat Golden State by 30.
Yeah, I ain't care about that.
And everybody was.
I care about that.
Everybody was on them, and then they rested all of them the second time. Oh, they scared us. We went in there without KD, beat y'all by 20 for the playoffs. They don't want no problems with them, man.
And then lastly, I just want to shout out just real quick. A lot of great playoff performances so far. Joe Johnson, that floater at the end of the game, that was beautiful. And then Draymond going crazy with the blocks.
What did he hit?
5.
And missed the triple double by an assist, but the 5 blocks is what
I like how he ain't chase it though.
Okay,
He tried to.
Well, he
No,
said
he
he
didn't.
did.
He didn't.
He was like this.
He did. Nah, he didn't. He didn't.
He said he didn't.
He said he did it, but the
He
play
did.
right before when Ian Clark got
he was
fouled,
clapping in the corner.
he was clapping in the corner. He said, "Look, give me the ball and give it back to you."
Nah,
He obviously
they weren't trying. They weren't trying to.
But you
They
want
weren't
to
trying, but
that's
that's
what
the play,
was funny though
2-on-1.
is he didn't know he needed the assist. So somebody obviously did.
It sound good.
You said he knew. Okay.
It sound good.
All right.
Come on, man.
Well, look, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Quinn, Pettis, thank you for coming through. Definitely, you guys welcome anytime. So
Open
that's
door
nothing.
policy.
Cardale, we look forward to having you back next week. He's gonna be gone again this weekend, so we got more stuff coming back to not next week's show, not this week's show coming up, but the following week in 2 weeks. Got a whole bunch of stuff down at Allen Iverson's inaugural event this weekend.
Everywhere.
Then after that, EYBL starts, so it's that time of year for that. I wish I was gonna say we were that busy on our side, but no.
I mean,
DC United's away.
We started up soon.
I was about to say, because the
About to be
Piss
busy.
League started on the 20th.
22nd.
It does. May what?
May 22nd.
Okay.
So you be
Where
busy.
at?
Largo High School.
Okay.
We going back home. Right back to the den.
Do you understand? I am so happy to go back to Largo. It's
You
crazy.
don't understand.
Nah, y'all don't understand.
Gosh.
I get over the bridge and then have to get on my phone on GPS and just drive randomly around Maryland. So I'm so happy to be back. But thank you guys as always for tuning in. Just a reminder, if you don't catch the show here, we got the podcast. Go to finestmag.com. Go to mymountainsports.com. Get everything you need. Again, thank you, Quinn. Thank
Make
you,
sure you
Pettis.
check out DCTV on
Octavia.
Friday.